We wish to acknowledge the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nations as the traditional owners of the land on which our home stands. We respectfully recognise both elders past and present. Welcome to Season 9 of The Leak.
On this week's episode of The Leak, we discuss politics and meet our neighbour Chelsea to discuss sports.
2021, a tax odyssey. Bring your parent to work from home day.
Are you having a stroke?
Maybe. Is that toast?
Marie's dad comes in to teach us about taxes.
Because he's an accountant.
We also discuss the Australian government, what it can do for us, and our responsibilities. Come on, it's not that scary.
We live in a society.
Well, if you have a roommate and you guys divvy up chores, then that's technically a society that you live in.
That means we live in a society.
We're a society. Moving on, we criticise HR.
A human construct made to protect a soulless entity from accountability.
Don't spoil it. And hopefully we'll all still be friends who can respectfully share opinions and agree to disagree.
I'm already regretting this decision.
Too late now, we're doing it. Welcome to The Leak. I am the change. I am the change.
Did I just hear the C word?
Chamomile or charcoal or both?
Pause or spores?
Mask me.
Ooh, in that case, you need to smush this on your face.
Your essential avo?
Yeah, you need it. Are you sure you're okay?
A federal election is imminent. Barnaby Joyce has been re-elected as Deputy Prime Minister, and the majority of Australians currently trust our government.
Wait, Barnaby Joyce, the ex-Deputy Prime Minister who resigned in 2018 for alleged sexual harassment and having an affair with a staffer. Barnaby Joyce, who attended abortion rallies, who made a Christmas video about God being the only solution for climate change. That guy?
Yes! That guy! Unfortunately, this government isn't listening to women, First Nations people, minorities. It's why thousands of children are protesting. Recently, the federal court found that the federal environment minister actually has a duty to protect young people from the climate crisis. But where are the climate solutions?
These kids can't vote. That's why we have to. Also, where's the vaccine rollout?
Times have changed, but not in the Canberra bubble.
Time changes every day. Impressive though that despite drought, bushfires and a pandemic, the Aussie economy has just entered the top 10 club globally.
Whoever extended JobKeeper for another 6 months deserves a pay rise.
It was so effective. Strange the federal government wouldn't extend it for lockdown 4.0.
You're right. 5 years ago, same-sex marriage was still illegal. We're still a conservative country. Recently though, pads and tampons are being offered at all public schools for free.
Point Lakshmi, sex workers can claim expenses on their tax returns for lingerie and condoms right through to the depreciating value of vibrators.
Point Marie, funding for domestic violence crisis and services for the homeless are being put aside, and public drunkenness laws have been abolished as it's actually a health problem.
And Potterheads are zooming in from their workloads, being compensated for internet and electricity costs.
And royal commissions have helped to pinpoint what issues the government is actually supposed to fix. Did someone say free kindy for 3-year-olds?
I sure did. And I heard that there's even a bill under consideration to decriminalise small amounts of drugs like MDMA, heroin and ice.
Is there? Well, I suppose the GST, NDIS, smoking ban and Medicare were all initially met with resistance.
And all affirm that when people come together, they can make changes.
It's so worth pushing for change because change occurs. We are the change. We are the change. Let's talk about laws, specifically betting laws. Should betting be illegal? And if you make it illegal, does it make it more dangerous and more likely to be done?
Joining us today to talk about betting laws and taxes is all-time legend, Chelsea!
Hi! So nice to be back.
So, Chelsea,
Yes.
you have to tell us, why are gambling ads so damn sexy?
And more importantly, how do we make anti-gambling ads more sexy?
I agree. And when you put them side by side, you can really see how powerful advertising can be. Companies like Sportsbet can invest a lot of money into their advertisement, which provokes feeling of how fun and how cool and how easy it is to place a bet.
You can place a bet on almost anything, anytime, anywhere.
You can place a novelty bet on Sportsbet about the end of the world.
Really? That's next level. But see, there's something for everyone. And you can understand why it draws people in. The ads are colourful, they're fun, and it really makes you feel like you're in the game that you're placing a bet on.
Oh, hey, you're making me want to place a bet.
Exactly. They are powerful, and you can see how easy it is for someone who's struggling with an addiction to get trapped into it, especially because of the easy access to gambling through casinos, TABs, or even our phone. It's more accessible than ever before, and especially to those low-income groups. Did you girls know that 30 cents in every dollar gambled goes to public revenue?
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. So that's 30% of the dollar. So it's actually a really decent chunk.
Yeah, and 80% of that money comes from heavy gamblers. So that means that up to a third of our 4 billion gambling taxes made comes from gambling addicts and their families. When you look at the anti-gambling ads that are made by the government, they show the darker side of the addiction. So there are some good intentions there, but really we need to think about the benefits that the government is reaping from this, the taxes that are placed on these dollars.
Wait, sorry, how much money does the government make from these ads?
$4 billion a year.
And does any of that money go into programs for prevention or for help with gambling?
That's such a great question. And I actually spoke to Emily Ryan, who's a health promotion officer who has worked in the area of gambling prevention and sport. Here's what she had to say.
My name is Emily and I work in the area of health promotion. The program grant I was working on was the Love the Game, Not the Odds program, which is funded by the Victorian Responsible Gambling Foundation. The program aims to remove the stigma around gambling in sport and being able to start those conversations and denormalising gambling being a large part of the sporting industry. The funding for the Love the Game, Not the Odds program is through the Victorian Responsible Gambling Foundation, and each year they have a grants round for either community organisations or community sporting clubs to apply to be a part of the program. And through this program, each sporting club receives the opportunity to have an information session run at their club, which is tailored to suit the needs of that club, and also opportunity to have a Love the Game round within the club to promote within communities. It definitely opened my eyes up to the industry, and I got a lot greater understanding of the harm that gambling does have within our local communities, but also the importance of a program like this so that we can talk about it.
But
Oh, there's always a but.
Always.
we have to keep in mind that gambling taxes are increasingly important to our Australian state governments. They're more reliant on revenues than ever before due to the demands of their budgets.
All that whining and dining to decide on policies, it's very expensive.
As Emily mentioned before, I see a lot of sports stars actually end up becoming mascots for Sportsbet. How do you think this influences people's choices in gambling?
Yeah, exactly, like Nathan Brown.
Yeah, he used to be the golden boy of football. And now the question is, should he be using all that influence he has for something other than gambling?
So how popular is sports betting and what are the laws around this?
And what can the government do better?
Yeah, sports betting is really popular. And there are laws around this, but the government can do a little bit better. They can invest in training of gambling venue staff so that they're able to recognise problem gamblers and give them the appropriate advice to manage situations.
Yeah, I would say that money raised from gambling should be distributed amongst disadvantaged communities. This is, after all, where gambling venues are preferentially located.
We also carry our phones everywhere, so why not use social media to get some of these problem gambling messages and campaigns directly targeted to those affected?
And so how can we help people and where can they seek support?
Yeah, there are many avenues for information and resources. The Victorian Responsible Gambling Foundation is a great support for people affected by gambling harm.
So much to think about.
Thank you for joining us today, Chelsea.
No worries, I'll catch you next time.
I just don't feel like our government listens to us.
I do feel this, but what about?
Well, just look at our taxes. I mean, I understand why we have taxes, but I don't even know where all our taxes go. I certainly don't want them going to the Defence Force or coal mining when they could be going to communities in need.
Well, hey, we do know where our taxes are going because on the back side of our notice of assessment, the taxes are named to indicate where they're going.
Yeah, but not all of them and in detail. Like, what's goods and services tax going towards? Goods and services?
Well, the federal government collects it, divides it up and based on the size of each population of each state and distributes it back to them so the states can pay for health, education, culture, the environment, grants, etc. GST was set up explicitly to provide the state governments with an income.
Isn't there a way to find out where my taxes go?
Oh, you mean like those thank you products that let you know and trace the impact of your individual purchase?
Yeah, with the little code on the thing.
Yeah, that would be cool, but there are too many people paying tax for that. But it would tell you what services are being prioritised because then if we don't like it, we can vote in a politician who'll make the budget better suited to our community.
Well, why shouldn't it? If we can figure out where our tax is going, why can't we vote in politicians who will spend it how we want? We have parliamentary committees, groups to examine specific issues and make legislative recommendations like the Royal Commission.
This is true. They are one of the most powerful tools for finding out how we need to change laws, taking years to complete their thoroughly research, and there's no barriers to what they can and can't investigate.
Okay, so what are they doing about drugs?
There's been several royal commissions focusing on separate drug issues. Also, nuclear testing, national security, the meat industry. These are all from the last 40 years, and that's not even half of them.
Okay. What about racism against First Nation Australians?
So I know there was a Royal Commission into Indigenous Australian deaths in custody back in 1991.
Yeah, there was, but only 60% of the recommendations were actually implemented, and there have been over 470 deaths in custody since.
Point, Lakshmi. I was curious the other day, so I went to the official websites of our three major political parties, Liberal, Labor and the Greens. I read their about pages and I discovered something very interesting.
Well, that's proactive.
They're almost exactly the same. They've just been reworded.
If the top three political parties are all addressing the same issues, then we can pick the ones whose solutions benefit the community more.
True. I hadn't thought about it like that. Because there's actually more than three political parties. There's also the Independents, there's the Gun Party, the No Aircraft Noise Party, the Sex Party, the Fishing Party, an anti-marijuana political party, and a nuclear disarmament party, all competing for the best policies. Shall we compare some?
I'd love to, but we need to finish doing our taxes.
The things we do for democracy. We will be back with my dad, the accountant, next. Dad!
Hello.
Come in! Yay! Lakshmi, meet my cool dad. Dad is an accountant, so you could say I have experience with people who have tax experience.
Hello, Marie's dad. Welcome. Thank you so much for popping in to answer our questions about tax time.
Happy I can help.
Yeah. Have a cuppa, there's some bickies.
Oh, nice. Like a little tax refund, eh?
Yes, in taxation, the warm fuzzy feeling you get when you get your tax return back.
Except it was your money in the first place.
Dad, make tax less taxing. Lakshmi has invented a trivia game called 2021, A Tax Odyssey.
Ah, so you already know the answers, sort of like the tax office.
Yes, that is indeed. Let's get started. Round 1, general knowledge. 1 point for a correct answer, 1 point off for silliness. Hands on buzzers.
Yep.
Question 1, what does the acronym ABN stand for?
Asshole by nature.
Australian business done.
Correct. Are JobKeeper payments taxed to pay off your HECS help debt?
Yes?
Yes, so for employees, they're just like other income. So just like wages or salary that you receive, if you get JobKeeper from your employer, it's taken into account in determining your income, and then if you're over the threshold, part of it goes to pay off your HECS help debt.
Point to Marie's dad. Question 3, can op shop purchases be claimed as a charitable donation?
No, you can only claim a deduction if you don't receive anything material in return. However, if you do buy something like, say, a chef's uniform and you are a chef, then that could be a tax deduction.
Interesting. Hey!
Consider it Lakshmi tax.
Ugh.
Question 4, how do investors pay tax on cryptocurrency?
Dad's a boomer. He doesn't know crypto.
Now, crypto is a bit like shares. So if you're an investor in crypto as opposed to shares, similarly, if you buy and then sell for a profit, it's a capital gain. If you sell for a loss, it's a capital loss.
Yes, correct. Fun fact, if you're 25, studying and still living with the elders, you're a child in the eyes of the ATOs. Fancy that. Moving on. Point check. Marie's dad is in the lead and Marie's still yet to score. Round 2, please explain, where we say a term and you explain what it means. Again, 1 point for a correct answer, 1 point off for
Silliness.
you got it. Hands on buzzers, the Lamington offset.
Seriously?
Yeah, seriously.
Do you mean the low and middle income tax offset?
Yeah.
It's for those with a taxable income between $37,000 and $126,000, and it's basically you get somewhere between $255 and $1,080 off the tax payable.
Nailed it. Fringe benefits.
Awesome hair vibes.
That's when you receive something from your employer other than wages.
For instance, paying an employee's gym membership.
Well, that's insensitive.
Shadow economy.
Also called the black economy.
Well, that's insensitive.
It's when you're doing something dishonest, like money laundering, not reporting income, or taking someone else's identity theft.
Oh, the ATO can do my laundry any day.
Point check. Marie still yet to score. Come on, Marie. And Marie's dad still in front. Final round in hot water. 5 points if you can guess who I am. Born in 1939, I am a Golden Globe winning actor, TV presenter and comedian with 6 children and a genius level IQ. During Project Wickenby, the ATO pursued me alongside former cricketers Alan Border and Shane Warne for unpaid tax exceeding $300 million. I worked on Sydney Harbour Bridge and starred in films such as Flipper and Strange Bedfellows. My famous quotes include, "Come and say g'day."
Paul Hogan.
Correct! Congratulations! That's the end, and congratulations, Marie's dad. You have won today. Oh, what's this?
For my accounting services, a tax invoice. It's tax deductible.
Ah, too easy. Thank you.
Thanks, Dad.
What's that?
Lakshmi tax.
Hello? Is this HR? Oh, I can come back later. It's just...
No.
Well, we have a meeting booked to talk about...
Ah, yes, wonderful. You're needing a new phone. Bring it in. Happy to talk to the department about a new phone.
No, it's about my...
I know what it's about. Give me your phone anyway.
Okay,
Too close!
but...
I don't want you getting your humanity on me. Oh, my precious little building block of the department, my sweet, sweet, sweet darling of industry. What has this decrepit human done to you? Dropped you in the toilet bowl that is their life, no doubt.
No, it's just old.
Capitalism doesn't age, it progresses.
Well, this job is the toilet bowl, not my life. So can we progress this meeting to the point where we get to talk about it?
Look at you getting snappy. Can I distract you from that thought with this little green highlighter?
No, my supervisor's harassing me and I want your support.
You sure I can't tempt you with a little trinket and you'll leave me alone?
No, I'm the one who wants to be left alone.
Right, from your supervisor.
Yes.
So, why are you here?
Because you're human resources and you're supposed to, you know, help me.
Human resources.
Yes?
Does HR stand for human resources?
Yes.
No, really! HR stands for human resources, like human resources? I thought it was a building code for my office. Wow, corporate jargon gone crazy. I obviously don't believe you. That's my standard position on all issues.
You don't believe your job is human resources?
No, of course not. My job is to read off the standard issues cue card. You are a valued member of our department's team. I hear your concerns.
Oh, yeah? What did you hear me say?
Your concerns are heard. That information can't be shared with you at this time, but rest assured, the issue is being looked into and your concerns are void.
Valid. My concerns are valid.
No, your concerns are void.
Valued?
You're being ridiculous. Now, to be honest, vindictive is the word that comes to mind. Your concerns are vindictive. And this whole interaction is making me feel quite uncomfortable in my own workplace.
No, I'm the one being made to feel uncomfortable at work. That's why I'm here. You are actually making me unsafe by ignoring my questions. Try throwing in words like triggered and suggest taking deep breaths. I'm sorry you feel uncomfortable. I can see I've triggered you by pointing out that the word human might be part of the word acronym HR, and perhaps even part of your job here.
It's not. Let me be clear. There's no human in HR.
Yeah, well, certainly not the way this is going, but it's okay. I want you to take a deep breath and look at your name badge.
Wow. It actually says human resources.
So can we talk about my supervisor now?
Of course not! No, of course not. My office hours are from 11 to 11:20. It is 11:21, so you need to leave now. Oh, I'll miss you, my beloved beacon of sweet departmental machinery. Oh! Oh my gosh, a dick pic just flashed. Did I just kiss a dick? Is this the glory hole of the digital age? Ah!
More like a digital flasher who you'd arrest if they did it in person.
Take it away!
Keep it. And you and my supervisor can get to know each other.